All right, I'm going to do a quick screencast on the Zoom security features you can adjust while in your Zoom meeting. Let's first start by clicking on the participants panel. That yours will probably say manage participants. That is always a good thing to have because you can see at any time who is in your meeting. You could also see who is the host, or if you assign a co-host, you'll see the co-host at the top with you as the host. Let's go to the Security Shield. This is a newer feature. The Security Shield allows you to change your security settings on the fly as needed. At any time, you can lock your meeting. Now nobody can join. You can also have your waiting room enabled. That should be your default setting just for security purposes. It helps you know or prevent people from just entering your meeting without you knowing about it. But if you did not need that anymore, you could always turn it off. But we do recommend you have that on. Screen share. Allow participants to screen share. It's not recommended you start with that setting because someone could come in and share their screen unwanted. You should only turn that on when you are ready for participants to share their screen. You also turn on and off the chat. If the chat were to get out of control, you just come in here and uncheck it. No more chat. Allowing participants to rename themselves. You might want them to rename themselves at first. Actually, you probably want them to rename themselves to their actual real name. Once they do that, you can remove that ability so you don't have any issues with that. You can also remove a participant. Let me show you how that works. You'll see on my participants pane, I have two participants, an unwanted participant and a wanted participant. If I want to remove this unwanted participant, I can remove the participant by clicking here. You'll see the word remove pops up next to everyone's names, and I will just click remove and then confirm. That unwanted participant is now gone. I can also report the unwanted participant, and that will send some information to Zoom so they can do further investigation or look for some common threads with that certain IP address that individual was checking in from. That is the Security Shield. You also can do some things here. If you click on screen share and you go up, you can change it from one participant can share at a time to multiple participants can share simultaneously. That can be a little out of control, but you might need that for your class. You could turn that on here. You can also go to your advanced settings and set it to multiple participants who can share, only host, or all participants. If you're ready for your class to share or your participants to share, you would turn that on here. Obviously, this is where you would record your meeting. You legally have to inform your participants when you're going to record, so please remember to remind them about that. Closed captioning is now available. To turn that on, you would just click here, and you can just select the features here that you need. Breakout rooms would be here. That would be something we can discuss in a future screencast or training. It's a great feature, but we do recommend you only use breakout rooms if you have supervision for each of your breakout rooms. Obviously, you can end your meeting here by clicking here. You can leave your own meeting, but you usually want to end it for all so that nobody is still in your meeting room. One more place where you have some settings is in your participants panel. You can mute all of your participants here. And you can also uncheck the box that allows them to unmute themselves. Sometimes when it's your teaching time or your presentation time, you won't want to be distracted by somebody who unmutes themselves. You can remove the ability right here. You turn back on. If you want to just mute everyone and ask them to respectfully wait for their turn to unmute, you can leave that ability for them. Your students have their nonverbal responses here. They could click a yes response that'll register up here, or a no. They can ask you to go slower, go faster. They even have more. There's a thumbs down, a thumbs up, a clap, coffee mug, which would be asking for a break, and also they can let you know they are away by clicking on the little clock. They can also clear all those there. You can unmute your participants here, but the last thing I want to show you is the three little dots. These are more in-meeting controls. You can mute participants upon entry. You turn that on or off. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Turn it on or off. Allow participants to rename themselves. Some of the things are the same as the Security Shield. Play enter exit chime. That'll play a little doorbell. anytime somebody comes in. That just lets you know somebody's coming in. If you have the waiting room, you don't need that because you'll see them waiting in the waiting room. If you had a meeting where the waiting room wasn't appropriate, which is outside of a classroom setting, let's say a district office meeting, you might still want that so you know somebody's coming in. It can get annoying. This is just how you turn it off. You just uncheck it. You can also lock the meeting here, same as the security shield. It's recommended when you first start your meeting, before you let anybody in, check your security shield. Make sure you have these settings how you want them. Open up your participants panel by clicking on Manage Participants and click on your three dots. Make sure you have these settings the way you want. Recommend you mute participants upon entry. Allow your participants to unmute themselves. You might want to turn that off at the beginning. You can turn that back on when you're ready. And also allow participants to rename themselves. You might need that at the beginning, so you can instruct your participants to do so, and then you turn it off so they can't change it again. These are the standard recommended settings that you have control over while you are in your Zoom meeting. It's very convenient, very easy to take control of your meeting. Please reach out to us at ETIS if you have any issues or any questions. We are always happy to help.